The red rabbit. The rabbit was dead. Was white. Was dead. Was 6 feet long. Supine. A trace of red against its mouth. A pocket watch half buried in the sand. Rubbery and indistinct, a blackish waistcoat curled across its midriff. While above us the mountain rose like a thread or a throat, unexpected. I could smell the death in its matted fur. I could feel its death in the utter stillness of the body. The eyes stared out into a great nothing, a vast nowhere. I was supposed to solve this. Brown eyes, flecked with green. Fur around the mouth, stained green with grass. There was no grass anywhere around here. Bitter whines. Desiccated. Husk. I stood up, fought the urge to sigh, and fought the urge to fight against the gentle pressure on the nape of my neck. Hush. Dusk. I had spent an hour staring at this apparition, with no insight forthcoming. What makes death solvable or soluble? What might be considered a clue? The red hissing from the mouth like a long sleek ribbon of snake? The wound to the belly, spilling out like sawdust? The tick-tock of the watch on my wrist, telling me to hurry? Should I solve the crime, I'd be much praised. Should I fail, none would care but me. Maybe I should run back to the table for tea? Behind me somewhere lay the city of teeth and blood and exhaustion and the cries of abandoned children, back alleys with their deeper wounds and the skies full of smoke and the streets at night lighted like strands of emeralds, the towers set to rise like knives cutting the underbelly of the blank sky. Here, in the desert, the sky was a deep blue shot through with deeper cloud, masked by the mountain rearing out of the sand. Out here, I had my familiar. In the city, my familiar could not always manifest himself, make himself known to me. No one could manifest in the city all the time. Out here, he could stretch, uncurl, and spread his wings of manta ray black to their fullest extent. The desert glinted off of them, melting into a relaxation that seemed earned. Flopping, flying against the wind as a broken-wing butterfly would do. "Rabbit," I said. It sounded like I just wanted to hear myself talk. Maybe I was talking to myself, at this point, my voice only echoed in my head. Like a tiny marble in a box one cannot find. "Rabbit," my familiar agreed, or was it me I thought? I had no name for my familiar. I felt no need for names, even for myself. How could anyone mistake him for another? His shape formed a shadow across me, his breath a black sparkling of memory, cloves, desire, and cinnamon. With the desert's red dust around us, the mountain rising, it seemed I could be his familiar. His voice like a reflection of a star in a pool of still water, his flickering appearance like a piece of gold glimmering up to meet the reflection. In a courtyard in the city. Where 100,000 familiars. It's not from here. My familiar rippled and coalesced behind me, over me. Not from there, either. Where 100,000 familiars gathered, the motion of their obsidian passage a mighty wave across a parched land. Helplessness and shame overtook me, the emotions I always feel at the scene of a crime. The death that cannot be catalogued except by time. The death that cannot be avenged except by the deceased, the only person who cannot avenge anything. What could my familiar and I do? The taste of continual failure was like ash on my tongue. Yet I could not remember any of my other cases. The ivory tower glows in the distance, presenting itself as a volcano about to erupt. I'm not a pretty rabbit, and I'm aware of that, so I like music that is really intense, really bold, and characters that in a way almost have a dark side and are kind of evil because, for me, that's when I feel my strongest and fiercest, when I'm not necessarily the white rabbit. Stay paranoid, my friends.